Yeah. So what's up, y'all? You know, Mr. C, he Superstar G back at it, you know. And we got DJ Countdown in the house, you know. Been trying to get this interview for a little while, and
Right.
we finally got a chance to go ahead and sit down and put this together. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and let him you know, give you a little spiel about himself so everybody can understand who he is, what he does, and how he's a treasure, unknown treasure here in the B.A.K. You know what I mean? So go ahead and give him a little spiel about yourself, sir.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. My name is Robert. I'm DJ Countdown here out in Bakersfield, California, and I've been DJing for about 15 years. Really love it. And before we go any further, I want to just say real quick, you know, rest in peace, Manuel Gutierrez. He was the owner of the Elements venue here in Bakersfield, and he just passed away this last week. And he was so much more than that, huge in the community. And I actually got my DJ career started off with him. I was working for him, washing dishes, setting up mobile bartending, setting up stages, setting up his DJ equipment, going to weddings with him. And then I would learn, you know, he'd teach me how to do the turntables and whatnot. And you know, like if he needed a break, I would cover for a moment until I started learning and getting better. And then, you know, he started using me to DJ a little bit here and there. But that's how I got started, is with Manuel Gutierrez. So I'm really sad that he's gone, but he left back, you know, a big legacy here in Bakersfield. You know, he did a lot for the community.
Yeah.
So, you know, rest in peace there, brother. And a big part of how I started, even with my name, DJ Countdown, you know, when we first worked for him, you know, you're not allowed to have your own DJ name. You know, so you got to be like DJ Robert. You know, he was DJ Manuel G.
Okay.
And he didn't want anybody having any DJ names because he just wanted everybody to say, you know, keep it simple, not trying to do too much and whatnot. And so it wasn't until after I worked for him for a little while, and I get offered to work at the Syndicate, and you know, Syndicate local bar here in Bakersfield, and they tell me, hey, Robert, would you like to do the Syndicate for New Year's Eve? And I'm like, of course. You know, I've been DJing probably for about a good year now, so I'm, you know, I'm very confident I can go in there and rock it out. I got video, I got all the new music, you know, everything. So I'm like, yeah, absolutely, you know. Well, these guys didn't let me know that they were literally throwing me to the wolves. They're throwing me to the lion's den.
Yeah.
They did not want me there. The bartenders did not want me there. The bouncers did not want me there. The owners did not want me there. I was nobody. I wasn't established. They had no idea what I was about at all. The guy that was supposed to be there was DJ Nicky.
Okay.
He's there all year long. He's got them, and they pay him good all year long. So come New Year's, they expected him to be there. Well, he got another gig that was going to pay really fat, and he bounced. So they were heated, and he goes, okay. And him and actually Manuel G were like best friends, and he says, you know, Manuel G can cover. Well, that's his birthday on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
So he's like, nah, I ain't covering.
Yeah.
And Manuel G's main guy was this guy, Javi. He's a good friend of mine to this day. And Javi's like, it's Manuel G's birthday. You know where I'm going to be at, not a Syndicate. So that's how they finally got to me, basically the bottom of the barrel. But they don't tell me that. They pump me up. They go in there like, yeah, go in there. So I go in there, man. I rock it. I do everything right. I'm thinking, at the end of the night, I go ask all the bartenders and the bouncers, you know, like, how'd it go? What'd you guys think? I'm thinking it went great. Nobody's saying anything then.
Yeah.
Right? No one says anything then. So I take off. I'm on cloud nine. You know, the people were dancing all night. The countdown went crazy. I had a video at Danza Kurudo, I think it was, and it had just came out. So this was a while back.
Yeah.
You know, so I had the video that went from the countdown right into it and everything. So I was set. I was ready. 2 days later, Manuel called me up. And he's like, hey, man, you know, don't worry about it. It happens to the best of people. You know, just shake it off. You'll be fine. And I'm like, shake off what? You know? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, they were saying that you're on the mic begging for drinks. And I could tell you at that point, I was scared of the mic. Like, the only time I got on the mic that mentioned a drink was when like 5 of my friends walked in, because I didn't have my social media. I didn't have any way to let anybody know that I was going to be the DJ, which nobody needed to know that I was going to be the DJ there. Syndicate that place is already renowned.
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 of my friends walk in, they look up, they see me, and they're just like, oh, crap, because they're just as surprised as I am being up there on this thing, right? You know, and then they're like, what are you drinking, you know? And I'm like, Red Bull vodka. And that's always been my drink, my staple right there. So they go and they buy me a Red Bull vodka, and they bring it to me and whatnot. And that was me begging on the mic, right? So I already know when he tells me that, I'm like, okay, something's wrong. Because, like, I'm all for getting in trouble for something you do or being something to making a mistake, you know? But I was like, and they said I was playing, like, this old music. And I was like, I know I played Keith Sweat, I Want Her, which kept the dance floor cracking and everything. So I'm like, these guys, this is something weird. And at this point, I still didn't know about the whole backstory. I didn't know it was supposed to be Nikki and these guys. I had no idea about. So I'm just thinking like, you know, someone's hating or whatnot. Finally, they say the last kicker, you missed the countdown at midnight. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How in the hell could I miss the countdown? Because we did the actual countdown from the ball that drops on the TV screen in New York. You know, we had those screens up everywhere. I had it up, and it went with it. And then I played my video that went with it. And, you know, and I was just like, no. And not only that, but your computer timestamps it, which first thing I did was I jumped back, brought up my computer, looked at the timestamp, and saw, no, you know, I did it right when I was supposed to. Yeah. I had been announcing it. What happened was the bartenders, some of them didn't make as much money as they thought they should have. So obviously, it must be the DJ's fault. You know,
yeah.
It could have been the fact that there's I'm not gonna say any names, but you know, there's some bartenders in there that, you know, hey, you could have had better attitude, you probably would have got better tips. Right. You know, so needless to say, Manuel tells me everything. I tell Manuel, Mac, no, man, you know, that didn't happen like that at all, whatever. And he's like, well, I don't know, DJ Nicky, I know that's his spot. That's what he had to hear, and now they're, you know, and I'm just getting started. So I'm like, I already done got started. Now I'm gonna start with the bad reputation.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks later, I run into him at a bridal show, and Nicky's there because he did like the accessory and bridal party store for Deja Vu. So he has a booth at the bridal show. Manuel, of course, had his, and I'm there helping and working for him. And I see DJ Nicky, and I'm like, okay, this is my chance. I'm gonna go tell Nicky what happened. You know, that's just crazy. I don't want him thinking that I can't even do the countdown to midnight or all these things, you know. So I'm walking up to him, and he's a ways off, and he sees me, and I swear he turns around and starts walking away. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And I was like, Nicky. And he's like, nah, Rob, I can't believe you. You missed the countdown. Fucking DJ Countdown. And I'm like, dude, don't call me that. I'm not DJ Countdown. I did not miss the countdown at midnight, bro. This is messed up. And he just walks off, bro. He doesn't care, dog. Yeah. He leaves me in the dust. I'm standing in the middle of this bridal show. It's like a freaking movie. Like, I'm not DJ Countdown. I'm like thinking about it. Like, I think back, I'm like, how much of an idiot I probably look like. Everybody's walking around, this guy's not DJ Countdown. Good for him, right? And so ultimately, I go back to work. And as I'm walking back to go over there and we're loading whatnot up equipment, I'm like, I'm not DJ Countdown, man. This is messed up. And then finally, I was like, you know what? Now I'm DJ Countdown. Right. And I just owned it. I made like a Facebook page, just like a little business page. And a friend of mine made me a logo, DJ Fletch, actually, Robert Azacrate. He made me a logo just like on the whim. Like we were just talking about it and just bam, made one. I've used it forever. And, put it up. And then, I don't know, about 2 weeks later, Nicky sees it. He sees it on Facebook. And he messages me and he just starts laughing. He's like basically like, glad, good for you, you know, because like, you know, most people have DJ names. They don't got like a reason. They just like, I'm DJ, what the fuck? You know, I was like, okay, you know, because I said so. And it's like, okay, but, I was like, no, I got a story behind mine. And then, so about 2-3